I want to start a business, yet I lack grit. I lack perseverance. My character is not yet developed. The only thing that I have currently is potential. And I'm saying this because if I look at projects which I started early in my 20s, these were amazing projects, but I didn't see them through. I did not finish them in terms of getting them to a level now that they are just operations. I didn't, because of the way how I operate. My psychology, my behavior is one that lacks grit. And this behavior is bad for my business. If I want to start a business, yesterday I spoke about my identity shift that I need to have. I need to move from this current identity that is more on charity, aid, and solving problems, then move to an identity that is of abundance. And now looking at my behaviors, when I look at my patterns, I don't have the ability to run a successful business. Of course, I can have the knowledge, I can have the skills. Those are things that I will learn, or I have already, at least, or I am learning. These are acquired stuff. But there's something I need to develop, which is my character. So I don't know if I don't pay attention to this, and this is the reason why Daring to Differ is not really a platform where I'm here to advise people, because myself, I'm also just in the arena. I'm also just experiencing this life thing, and I'm learning that there are so many things that I lack. Maybe the only thing that you and I can do is to hold hands and reflect individually and see what are the things that we need to bring to the front, and acknowledge them that they are bad, and start finding ways to make them better. Because currently, I don't have the capacity. My behavior is one that will not pull through this business. I can start it. I can always start things. I think that for me, that's my strength, because I am courageous. I can start things. I can run with projects from year 1, year 2. But I lack grit. And this is what Angela Duckworth is. She's a renowned psychology. She talks about people who lack grit. They don't accomplish a lot in their lives. And I'm one of those people. And when you notice that you lack grit, you will be able to identify it actually in small things. For me, I looked at my behaviors in terms of even just my finances. When I look at how many savings accounts have I had, for instance, some are even like long-term investments sort of. Did I say these savings have currency or money that was not touched for that period that I have planned without withdrawing? No. I always go to them and pull out, because we are firefighting. But that's not how life should be. I should be able to pull through things, no matter the odds, no matter what the odds are. And I would always have the best justification. Yes, we need to help who? We need to do this. Let's get this out. So we build this, But that's a contradiction of the life that I want or I intend to have. There's no stability. It's something that I don't like. So even me thinking of I need to start a business, if I don't change this behavior of being glued to this one thing and said, I'm going to invest in this area, and no matter what the odds are, no matter how the economy is, I'm not going to get my money out of this investment, Let me pull through. This is how wealthy people have become. They've been able to hold on their wealth for years until compound interest starting making sense and the money started compounding. For instance, we've seen guys like Elon Musk. These guys have grit. He held on to his business idea for years, for decades. And today he's one of the best entrepreneurs globally. We've seen athletes like Serena Williams. She has grit. She's able to be at the tennis court for decades and craft her art against all odds. And she's been in these sports for years. I think since age number 4, if not 3, with her sister, they'd go to the court with their father, and their father would teach them how to play tennis. These guys have grit. I've seen even local entrepreneurs who have held on their businesses. Afroprint is one good example. I don't know how many years they've made in this business. Probably they're headed to 10 years. But each year they are growing because they have grit. I don't have that grit. I don't pull things through. And I hate it. I don't do it because I am reckless or I'm not serious with life. I just realize that I just don't prioritize myself. I don't prioritize my projects, or rather prioritize other people and other things over my projects. Because I lack grit. If I had grit, I would say no. I would say no. I would set boundaries. I would say no, I cannot access that fund because it's not meant for that. But I lack grit. I don't know. Are you in the same boat? You and I want to be different people, be it economically, financially. But our behaviors are speaking the opposite. People who are called stingy, their accounts are not poor because they made the right choices, right decisions. People who run successful businesses, their businesses are flourishing because they prioritized them. But people like me who are just dreaming of having a successful business, yet our behaviors or my behavior is the opposite, I will never have that successful business. That is a far-fetched dream unless I start with my behaviors, identifying them in terms of where the problems are. And I can only unpack them better if maybe I have a discussion with my therapist in terms of why don't I see things through. And the track record is there. I even look at my career in terms of jobs that I've had. I don't think I've been at a job for more than 5 years. The closest I've been is to 5 years, and this was when I was at the United Nations. But still, I needed to see the reason why it was essential for me to pivot or to change, And some reasons are justified. But then this approach of me always finding ways, pivoting, finding solutions, it has made me someone who's not able to hold on something long enough. Because psychologically, for me, when I say threats, when things are not working, I find reasons why I need to find solutions. And some of these solutions entail me pivoting, me quitting, me, stopping. It's things I know. Perhaps the only thing that I've held on for more than a decade is my romantic relationship because I value it. Could it be that the other things I don't value them as much? I'm not sure. But my character is one that doesn't see things through. I'm not reckless, but I just don't see things through. Now I need to look at the justifications that I have always brought to the table and saw them important enough for me to make that move. I need to look at those justifications now that I am wiser and really see that were they just enough or not. Because if I want to be different, and give a different experience to my family, it means I need to start removing the weeds. And some of the weeds have to do with my behavior. And these are behaviors are things we've learned from a very young age, right? And some of these things are so hard to unlearn now. It's not, I won't just wake up tomorrow and I'll be like, I'm a changed person. But the beauty in this is that I have the awareness. So tomorrow, if I start this venture and I am about to quit, I'll call myself up and say, Anaki, you are back again. You are sabotaging yourself again. And it's just not about grit. It's also about intentionally crafting an art until it gets to the level that I am satisfied. And crafting this art would require investment of time. This is what Malcolm Gladwell talks about in his book titled Outliers. Outliers, these are people that have invested adequate time on their craft. And this is what this investment makes them outliers. For me, I'm not an outlier in anything. I kid you not. I am not an outlier in any area. And if I'm saying I'm an outlier, maybe in terms of where I come from, I am an outlier there because of the baseline. You know, every time when you compare things, you need to compare this to this and you look at the baseline. What is the baseline? If the baseline is here, then you cannot be here and say you're an outlier. No, compared to what? This girl. You know, I started this year saying that I need to have an extraordinary life by when I turned 40. I just didn't know that it would require of me to look inward. And sometimes looking inward, it means unearthing some of the weeds that stings. And the fact that I have the awareness, it's giving me freedom, yet it's uneasy. Who wants to talk about things that they're not proud of? Who wants to call themselves out? But you know what? I started this platform called Daring to Differ. One, because I need to work on this girl. I'm settling for ordinary. And it's not good. I don't like it. Okay. So, I don't even have words to continue from here. I think I was very harsh on myself. But anyway, that is the reality. I really don't have any words. This is Anaki. I will see you in the next episode when the dust have settled. Okay, let me just ask you to like and subscribe.